Hello, bosses. So before we start the episode, I wanted to do the shout out from last week's episode with the Goku versus Sailor Moon debate. So from listener Ron Bon, although I've always loved Goku, I'm going with Sailor Moon winning the fight because it's Women's History Month and I gotta have Sailor Moon's back.
I love that. Also, we want to shout out to Sue_archives on Instagram. Thank you for your review. Also, thank you for your repost. We really appreciate it.
So to start off this episode, we're going to start talking about our Sephora must-haves and wants.
Stay tuned till the end because one lucky listener will be getting a $50 Sephora gift card, so we'll let you know how to enter.
So the reason we wanted to do this episode today is because Sephora is going to be having a sale from April 14th to the 23rd, and you can get anywhere between 10 to 20% off depending on your tier, and then Sephora collection is 30% off.
Nice.
Cool.
So Vandy's going to start us off.
For the category skin, I have face serum. I want to try the Glossier Super Bounce face serum. Next on my list, I have a moisturizer that I use from Smashbox. It's the Halo Illuminating Moisturizer. I love it. It's really great for glow.
And I have a bunch on my list. So I have 6 different skincare items that I currently use that I really want to talk about. The first one, and one of my favorites, is the Youth to the People Green Tea Kale Cleanser. This stuff is amazing. It leaves your skin so soft, super hydrated, doesn't overly dry you out. So that's definitely favorite cleanser, almost my favorite skincare item. The next thing I have to talk about is the Topicals Faded Serum. I have the mini one. So to start off, this smells disgusting. Like it smells like a perm, to be honest. But it works really well for helping diminish my acne scars because usually whenever I get a pimple, it instantly scars. So this just kind of helps fade it faster than it would be if I wasn't using anything. So I'm okay with the smell as long as it continues to work how it does. And then the next thing I have on my list is a moisturizer. So this is the Rich Bitch Moisturizer from Freck Beauty, and it has cactus water in it, and it's just super hydrating, and the consistency isn't like a normal moisturizer. It definitely has like a thicker, creamy consistency to it, and I love the way it melts into my skin. So the next thing on my list is just an eye cream from, again, Youth to the People, and it's their, I have to read it off the thing because I can't remember it, Dream Eye Cream. So it's supposed to smooth, hydrate, firm, and again, it's a little bit of like a thicker consistency. I like thicker consistencies for my face just because I feel like they melt into the skin a little bit better, and my skin's naturally drier. So love this stuff, definitely morning and night. Now, my next item is a holy grail item. I could drink this. It's the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid. And, you know, it says to use a couple of drops. I will literally fill up the entire dropper and drop it onto my face. And it does leave a little sticky residue, but it soaks into the skin after a couple minutes, and it's plumping, works beautifully. Now, the last thing on my list is a lip oil. It's the Fenty Skin Lip Oil, and I have to open it and smell it. Like, I can't just pick it up and not. I had to do an ASMR moment. It smells like cherries, works beautifully. It has it lasts really long for a lip oil. You think it would wipe away really quickly, but you actually get a couple hours of wear on it before you have to reapply, which is really nice for a lip oil. And that's everything I have for my Sephora must-haves for the skincare section. I think now we're going to move on to, is it makeup?
I think it is makeup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Ruby's going to start us off with a makeup category because she's our makeup queen over here.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the primers category for facial primers. So my all-time favorite primer, and I know a lot of other fellow MUAs will agree with me on this, it's the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Dewdrops. So beautiful on the skin. It's so great for brides. I absolutely love it. It just gives you a dewy glow, so that's what, you know, our brides want, to be looking radiant on their wedding day. So absolutely love that. And you only need one pump for the face, and it's more than enough. And then my all-time favorite primer that I always go back to, old school primer, is the Benefit Professional, and it has that I like silicone face primers, like base primers, but this one, it's kind of fills in your pores a little bit more rather than it being slick on the skin. And I kind of like the way it kind of just mattifies. So this is my OG Professional Primer by Benefit. So that would be my primer.
And so for me, my primer that I use as a go-to, it really depends, but I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Illuminate Glow Primer. If I'm using my illuminating Smashbox moisturizer, I don't use this glow primer with it. I would use just a different moisturizer with this, so it's not too glowy.
Right.
And then my other primer that I like to use is the Smashbox Photo Finish, the foundation primer. It's oil-free. I like that it's oil-free because I'm sensitive to that.
All right, so the next category will be powders. I have two. My favorite is the Charlotte Tilbury Finishing Powder. Again, it's something that I can wear daily if I want like a finishing powder and just to give you a flawless finish. It looks very airbrushed on the skin. I tend to have more pores in my T-zone area, and I notice that when I tap it into my skin, it really helps diminish that. So this is a really good finishing powder, really nice for bridal makeup as well. And for baking and setting under my eyes, I really love Fenty's Pro Filter powder, and this is in the shade Banana. Now, right now, because I'm not so tan, it could look a little yellow, so what I do to counteract that, I'll use a lighter color concealer, and then I'll go in with the Banana powder. Now, if I use this in the summertime, this works great. Also, another trick that I do is, and I learned this from Harush, so she's also a pro makeup artist, is that she'll mix her powder. So what I'll do is I'll use my Banana powder, and then I'll use like a Laura Mercier translucent, and I'll mix the two, and it gives you such a beautiful undertone, you know. But the powder is very micro finish and very smooth, and I like that. I like it because I tend to have fine lines under my eyes and I am more dry. So this is a really, really great powder. So Fenty Beauty is the go-to.
I have to add that to my list. So for me, my powder that I use as a go-to is the Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent. I don't have it here with me, but that's a go-to.
She's a good one.
She's a good one.
So the next category we're going to talk about is bronzers. So mine is actually a cream bronzer. It's the Rare Beauty bronzing stick in the shade Always Sunny. It's like beat down because I use it almost every day. But these blend out beautifully. Like you can blend out with a beauty blender, your fingers, brush, whatever you choose, and it just melts into the skin super nicely.
Love that.
I know you got some good bronzers, Ruby. Give it to me.
Okay. So I absolutely love Makeup by Mario. He's Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of him. And I absolutely love his makeup line. Like, you know, you kind of are skeptical when people come out with a makeup line because you don't know if it's going to be as good as they make it out to be. But he actually has some key pieces that I absolutely love. First one being the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer. And I have this in medium dark. I like to have more of a bronze, you know, sun-kissed finish. So medium dark is my shade that I like to wear. And then I also have the Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. So it's his cream bronzer. I also have this in medium dark as well. This is so beautiful on the skin. Just like Rachel said with the other product, melts into your skin, so easy to use. You could do it with your hands. You could do it with, it actually comes with this little brush, which is really convenient. And then you can also detach it to clean it. But I like to personally use, I like to use the Beauty Blender because I really like it to set into the skin so it looks like skin. You know what I mean?
Right.
So those are my two go-to products for bronzing. Oh, I actually have one more. I'm sorry. Another product that I'd like to talk about is the Saint Tropez Bronzing Mousse. You could use this with a mitt, and it's a foam, and you can pump it onto the mitt, and then you just put it all over your skin. What I like about this bronzing mousse, it's if you need to go to a special event and you don't have time to tan outside and you don't want to tan in the bed because it's not safe, this is a very safe method for self-tanning. And you can get really dark in as little as 3 hours. So this is the express one. And what I like about it is when you pump it out, it has an amber color to it, so you know exactly where you're applying the mousse, so you don't miss any marks. So very, very good product. The mitt is just like $5-6, so it's actually a really good investment, and a little goes a long way, so it's gonna last you a long time.
So for me, bronzer, I have the cream and I have powder. So for the cream, I have the Fenty Beauty bronzer. I like it a lot, actually. I use it actually for my freckles as well.
That's what you use?
This is what I use. So what I do is I actually take a very fine brush or tweezers or scissors, like I told you, because it's a fine point. And I actually take a little bit of it, put it all over, take my finger, and then I'll just manipulate it. So it creates a lot.
How cute.
And then I also use like a darker powder just to put on top, because freckles aren't always the same color. Yeah.
And it also helps probably mattify it so it stays in place.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
And then my powder is Hoola Caramel. I use a caramel color.
I didn't even know they had that shade.
No, hold on.
No?
Open that
Let me
box
see.
up. Hold on.
Let us see.
Show the class.
Ooh.
Because the
Sure.
other one, the light one I was getting was too light.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I
do
love
they
that they
have
expanded it.
difference?
Mhm.
Yeah. But I love using this after I use my cream too, because it sets it a little bit.
To set it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I always have to set it too.
Always have to set it.
So because we're talking about bronzing, let's also just get into concealers.
Mm-hmm.
So the concealer I have is, of course, the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. Super OG product. Glides on the skin really nicely, blends out nicely, doesn't crease, gives you like a nice little like glow without being too dewy under the eyes. So staple product, super easy to use. I only have the mini one just
And it
because I like to
lasts.
just like throw it with me. Yeah, but like I've had this for months and I still have like a good amount still left in here. So
It's very natural looking too.
NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, must have. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into eyes. I want to tell you my favorite faux lashes for strip lashes. I usually have lash extensions. Shout out to my lash tech, my fave lash tech on Instagram, McKaylee, I love you. But when I don't have lash extensions on and I have a special event that I want to go to, my go-to brand is Lily Lashes, and I have the Miami Flare. I really like these because they're super soft and flirty looking, and I love how wispy they look, and I like how the ends are very like cat eye and they taper out. Super flattering on a lot of eye shapes, so that would be my go-to. Also, for eyes, I like to use my everyday, if I want to do an everyday like all over wash of color on my lids, the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette is a really good one. Ooh, I don't know if I should show it. It's a little messy.
It's well loved.
It's well loved. What I love about this palette is that it was specifically made for a whole shade range of skin tones. So you could be as fair and as deep skin tone, and it will go with your thing.
Complexion.
Shit. So that would be my daytime palette that is for every day, for more of like, daytime wear for going to work and stuff. Now for evening looks, I really love the Natasha Denona Glam palette. And what I love about this palette is it has a shade of shimmery shades that are cool tone, and it also has warm tone shimmers, and then it has your mattes. And for a beginner, even though it is a glam palette, you actually could really use this because it also tells you like center eyelid, it tells you outer eyelid, inner corner, crease, transition, lash line. So it has everything written on the palette so you know where to place the colors. So I really like this. I used it for all my New Year's Eve clients. I use it for a lot of my clients that are going out. That's a really great one. So it's a great transition for nighttime.
And for me, I have 3 palettes here. So my everyday palettes that I use are actually from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I mix them. So I use the Soft Glam, and when I was telling you guys about the freckles, I actually use the shade Cypress Umber.
Oh yeah.
That's what I use for like
It's like a
moles, you know what I mean?
Deep brown.
And you know, it's great for beginners because it just has like easy transition colors, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna show you guys this
It's like
one.
more of a warm tone palette.
Yes. And this one I like to use like more of the neutral colors, and I like to use the shimmers for my inner corners or the middle of my lids.
Love it.
My last palette though is a Huda Beauty, and this is my going out palette because ever since Euphoria.
Oh yeah. What's the name of that palette?
This one is a Mercury Retrograde,
So cute.
and I use it has
That's also well
so
loved.
many. Yes, very well.
So it has a lot of cool tone shimmer shades.
Yes.
That's really nice. So that's more of definitely a cool tone, like
Yeah.
soft colors, but it also has like some really pretty neutrals in there as well.
So, not exactly eyes, but close enough to them, is this brow product. It's the Brow Freeze from Anastasia.
Mm.
And I had been looking for a really long time for something that would like stick my brows down, like as if I put like hair gel in them, but nothing was strong enough for them until I found this stuff, and like you can see like the gouges in it and stuff. It just sticks them down, keeps them there all day. It almost hardens them, but it doesn't feel hard on them. So I really love the way this works and how it feels on my brows.
Yeah, your brows look really good today. You have like a
Yeah.
laminated look, and
I
I love that.
shaved the tail ends off of them again.
Did you?
Yeah, so that they would be more upturned.
Ooh.
They look really
You know, I
good.
wanted to snatch my face a little bit.
Really quick, I have a question about that. So I have always wanted to try that because I like the laminated look.
Mhm.
So is it, you know how some gels will actually look like they're dandruffed over or like, you know,
Like it has a white cast.
as a white
Yeah.
cast?
So you have to wash your brush in between uses, because if you don't wash your brush, it will get flaky from the old residue on your brush, brow brush. But as long as you clean it in between uses and get the gunk off of it, it won't happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
I'll do
you.
your brows after this.
See how they look.
Please. The next thing I have for eyes, I don't wear this all the time, but I really love the Selena Gomez Rare Beauty line. So I have her eyeliner, liquid liner. It's it's not a felt tip. It's more of the hair brush. You know what I mean?
Like bristles.
The bristles, yeah.
That's really nice.
But I really like it.
It's got a nice point to it
Yeah.
for detailed work.
Mhm.
Love that.
So next is blush, and I like to use the NARS cream blush in Freedom. This is my go-to every day. I wear it like everywhere on my face.
How do you apply it?
So I take a beauty blender actually, and I stick it in, and I just pat on my cheeks, and then on my nose, my chin, and my forehead.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Give you a rosy look.
Yes. It blends really well.
So the last thing I want to talk about before we get into lips is going to be this cream highlighter from Merit. I had never heard of them until I seen this product, but it's like a cream highlighter, and instead of being glittery, it has like just the lightest shimmer to it, but it also leaves like a dewy, wet look to the skin.
Like
so
a sheen.
yeah, like it doesn't look like flat or powdery. It definitely has like a sheen, wet look to it, and I love using this every day. Again, I put this on with brush, beauty blender, fingers, blends in really nicely to the skin.
That would be a really cute look for like out the door, just like
Yeah,
dab it on with
like
your
fresh,
fingers.
like a fresh skin look.
Exactly. I love that.
And now the best category for makeup is lips.
So I have my all-time favorite lip color. It's the Sephora Cream Lip Stain. Everybody asks me, this is like what I always wear, and everyone always asks me, what lip color are you wearing? And it is the pink tea shade in number 40. My absolute favorite. If I could describe it, the color is more of like a mauve nude. So it's definitely more of like a cool undertone. But what I do to counteract the coolness, because I don't like it to look too cool where it almost looks like a gray nude, I use a brown lip liner. Now the brown lip liner that I use is not from Sephora, so I won't talk about that. But any brown lip liner, I don't like to go too dark. I like to have it be complementary with my skin tone. So like I use more of like a neutral brown, and then I apply this on top, and then I'll top it off with a gloss. And it's always what everyone always asks me. So I absolutely love it, and it's very fairly priced because it is a Sephora brand. That's their actual brand. And then for lip plumping balm, I have the Makeup by Mario. It's the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in Mauve Glow. I really, really love this. And it's also has a shimmery effect to it. It has a sheen to it, and it does have a little plumping to it, but this is really pretty to wear like on the go every day. I'll even top it off with that lip stain. It's really, really great.
So the last lip product we're going to talk about is the Hourglass. It's the Glossy Balm in the color Trace. I have used this one down to the point where I have to scrape out the product to get into it because
Oh wow.
it's like done.
This
Stuff literally gives you like the perfect sheen, perfect glossy lip. Similar to the Mario where it's like slightly lip plumping, but it's not that uncomfortable lip plumping like the Too Faced one is. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Too Faced one, but it doesn't hurt.
Right.
So
Not
love
for
this
every
one.
day.
Love reapplying it. It clicks up similar to how the Mario one does. I think they're very similar in color too, so I would almost say that they're like interchangeable, just slightly different shades between them. So now that we close out the makeup category, we're going to go a little bit more into hair and hair care. So I know Ruby has a couple things she wants to talk about, so I'll let her start it.
Okay, so recently my bestie Rachel cut my hair, so now we got this cute little bob going, and because I had to cut it off because
Listen, I didn't give her a bad haircut. She loves her haircut.
I do love my haircut. No, I
She's
needed
like,
I
my
needed
bestie
to
cut
cut
my
it.
hair off, and now I need to grow it out.
Yeah, no, I definitely needed to cut my hair because if anyone who follows me on Instagram, they know that I change my hair a lot. Shout out to Glam Hair by Marie. Love you, my bestie.
Love you.
So no, but on a serious note, I was looking into taking biotin gummy vitamins and something that's halal and kosher. This isn't halal, but it is kosher, and it's called Vegamore, and it's the Grow Biotin Gummies for Hair Wellness. This is probably like my second or third. I'm on my third bottle, I think.
Is it glass?
Yeah, it's glass.
Oh.
And they're so cute because they're heart-shaped gummies.
Oh my god.
And they taste so
Gotta eat
good.
one. Oh wait, I can't eat one.
I know. We're fasting. But they're heart-shaped gummies. And you just take one a day. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about is because I don't really like to take medicine like pills and stuff. So a lot of the gummies, they require you to take like 4 a day. And I hate that. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to have to take so many in a day. This one I love because you take one a day.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
yeah, so it's definitely worth it. It had like thousands and thousands of reviews online, so that's when I was like, okay, this is a great one. And it's gelatin free. Now, my next product for hair would be the Briogeo. It's the organic and cold pressed 100% castor oil. Now, Rachel, because she's my hairstylist, told me that this is great to use because if anyone knows, castor oil helps with hair growth. So it's organic and it's vegan. But what I do is, like on my wash days, if I don't do it the night before, I'll do it the day of. I'll put this in my hair and I'll massage it, and then I'll just like put my hair up in a clip, and then I'll leave it in for hours. until I have to wash my hair. It just kind of soaks up into my follicles. And then I'll even use one of those, what do you call those?
The scalp massagers?
Yes, the scalp massager. Now Rachel taught me all this. She's such a great stylist. Next we have the Olaplex products. I really love these products. I actually have a couple other things that I use, like their shampoo and conditioner, but this is what I use more so like on my wash days. So we have the Olaplex number 6, which is a bond smoother, and it's a leave-in styling treatment. And then we also have the Olaplex number 7 bonding oil. And I use the leave-in cream first, and then I use the oil after. And then I just kind of like run it through my hair, and then I'll take like a wide tooth comb and just kind of like comb it through. And then you can style as desired. So I hope I made you proud.
Just a little bit. So I have the Olaplex dry shampoo. It's called their N4D, and I love this stuff because it's super lightweight. So you know how most of the time dry shampoos have like a thicker powdery feel to them. This one's like super lightweight, so you can spray. It'll have a slight white cast. Once you rub it in, it's completely gone. And I like to actually use this on my hair at night, so that by the morning I don't even have to brush it through. Like it's just already set.
It's refreshed.
Yeah.
And then I also have the Way Thick and Full hair vitamins. Now, these ones aren't gummy. They're a capsule, and they're kind of big. But I like these specifically for myself because I can't have too much biotin in my system because it'll cause me to break out. So these ones only have 167% of your daily value of biotin, whereas other brands sometimes have anywhere between like 15,000 and up. And that's just too much for my skin. I'm too sensitive for that. So these ones really work well for me. And you don't see results right away. It usually takes about a month and a half to 2 months for you to actually notice they're working. But once they start working, your hair just grows like weeds. So really love this stuff. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is a hair oil. It's the Verb Ghost Oil. Now, one of my clients actually put me onto this. So when I first pumped it into my hand to feel it, I was like, oh, this stuff is real thick. This is not going to work. But it melts into your hair and like absorbs so beautifully. And it gives you like the best shine. So I really like this when I wear my hair natural and I want to fluff it out but not create too much frizz. I put this all over my fingers and then brush it through, and I get the volume I want without having to compromise and add too much frizz to my hair.
So that concludes our segment of our Sephora must-haves and what we love. So we hope that we helped you guys figure out some of the things that maybe you'd want to pick up during the sale. And now Rachel's going to tell you how you can enter in our giveaway.
I know this is the part you guys have all been waiting for. So again, just to go over it again, we are going to give away one $50 Sephora gift card to the winner. So the way to enter is to leave a review and comment on the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Send a screenshot of your comment to our Instagram, beautybosses.brightminds. And then also for extra entries, if you follow us on YouTube and also TikTok, and we'll have those both linked down below so it's easier for you guys to find them, you also will get an extra entry for each of those.
Also, on our Instagram page, we have a link tree. So if you click on the link, it will take you to all of our socials. So you can subscribe to all of our socials on there, and then you can see our YouTube video and listen to our podcast, which is on Apple and Spotify. So make sure you check that out.
And to end this episode, I would like to read off a quote from Bobbi Brown. Nothing says confidence and glamour like a classic red lipstick. As you can see, we're all wearing red.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day.
Bye.